God, I'm sore from this weekend. Hurting.
Can't get over the millennial rule.
The what?
Millennial rule.
Is that what we call that?
Yeah.
The millennial rule? Okay, well, you know. Or it's just I don't want to drag my pants on the ground. One of the two.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So, anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Coaches on the Couch, episode 5. I think I'm right with that one. We'll find out, I guess, when I upload this to YouTube. Anyway, fun episode. We get to recap Bruin. We're going to start this one just a little bit differently because I'm going to cut maybe the first 2 minutes of this for Instagram to do our meet recap that we normally do, and then we'll go deeper into the Bruin results with more fine-grained details. That's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, we'll do a little different here. Sydney's here with me, so I'll probably give like my kind of first little minute spiel and then go from here. So, yeah, I thought it was a really good meet. You know, it was Saturday, Sunday, 2 days, really compact, really short, but you know, lots of swimming, but lots of fast swimming. I thought we did a really good job, you know, on a super short rest. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but I think what I'm taking the biggest thing away, aside from, you know, the new program record, the top 10 times, and the lifetime best times and season best, is more just like how we showed up to the meet. I was talking with another coach afterwards on how their meet season went, and they really mentioned like, oh, I was really excited with how we showed up above all else. And when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I am too. Like, we swam hard, we swam really gritty, really disciplined, you know, 2 of our core values. And then I felt like out of the water, hit with camaraderie, unity, and respect, and how we carried ourselves and with others. And, you know, the thing that comes to me is during the miles, which for all as great the mile is, no offense, it is not the most exciting thing to watch. But, you know, watching our team cheer on their teammates in the water through all 3 heats of that, as well as, you know, like just being present in that swim, in those swims. And so that's what I take from this meet. But yeah, Sydney, how do you feel?
It was awesome. I mean, like you said, it's so compact, and so they're swimming so many races in such a short amount of time that it's great for them to realize that they can swim fast tired. I think sometimes that can get lost. They can get really stuck in how their bodies feel. And this was a great opportunity for them to kind of not necessarily push past it, but realize that, yeah, everybody's a little tired. That doesn't mean we can't still race fast. And so that was really exciting. And like you said, just seeing them all cheer for each other, interact with each other, and interact with other swimmers from other teams was really great. And, you know, I feel like they really embodied Krugged this weekend. So that's the first time I've said
They got Krugged is what you're saying.
Full acronym, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so let's go a little deeper now, right? Those are full thoughts, and that will be shot out on the gram. But getting a little deeper into it, and I have my notes so I don't forget things, hopefully. Starting with the men's, since again the men do go first this year. Men's meet, the men finished 4th overall. We were the 3rd Northwest Conference team. SWAC was also there, so we finished behind SWAC, Pacific Lutheran. Sorry, Andrew, I'm sure they'll get mad at that. George Fox, and then it was us. It was close with Fox, you know, within 20 points, which realistically is just like a handful of entries into a 50, and we'll get on that a little bit later here in a second. A little bit later in a second does not make a lot of sense. So. But yeah, the women also finished 4th, also the 3rd overall Northwest Conference team behind George Fox, Pacific Lutheran, and SWAC. A little bit of a bigger gap there between 3rd and 4th for the women's team. Again, I think kind of the format of the meet allowed those points to be more accumulated by teams that did 50s, and we'll get into that conversation here in just a second. And so, you know, I don't know. I didn't follow the team score at all until like the break yesterday. I was like, I wonder where we're at. And you know why I don't follow that. One, I don't come to this meet to try to win this meet. Like, yes, we've won this meet a handful of times on both the men's and the women's side, but I've never come in with that goal, right? Like, the goal is not to win Bruin. The goal is to swim fast against good competition, suited up as a pseudo mini conference, right? And so I thought we accomplished those goals, right? Yeah. We accomplished the goals of, like you just said, racing tired, but racing fast, racing suited, and racing really good competition. this year was the first year we added the 50s, which I thought was exciting, and I also thought more of our team would want to do the 50s.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
Right? But maybe the way we preface this meet with them, for those of you watching, because obviously we know how we do that, is we say, like, this is a dry run for conference. And so we want you to swim your 3 conference events. And if you have a 4th event that's competitive at the conference championship level, you should probably do that too. And then if not, right, if you're like, no, it's only these 3 events, like, okay, let's talk about if there's a feasible 4th that you want to do that works in the schedule that doesn't impact the prep for those 3 events. And so I think our team probably did really take that to heart and looked at, like, okay, well, where do the 50s fall? How would that impact my main conference event? And so, yeah, I was shocked at how many people didn't do the 50s.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I was shocked at how many didn't have a 4th event that might be a conference event and still didn't choose to do a 50.
Right.
I think that was what shocked me, was that, you just left it blank, or you chose like a 200.
Yeah, Colin. We'll get there though. But I think part of that is again realizing, especially from our returners, right, like how jam-packed this meet is.
Yeah.
And even though it's just a 50, right, just a 50 twice plus warm down yardage, like, it builds up.
Here are the races.
Yeah. So yeah, the addition of the 50s plus having SWAC there for the first time, definitely changed the dynamic of the meet, but I think all in a good way, right? Yeah. Again, yes, the 50s maybe didn't spread out the swims as much as we thought they would, right? Because, like, having SWAC obviously means more entrants. You theoretically have more people in more events. You have more time between events, but then the 50s, it's like, really, just people just got spread out into the 50 events. I was talking with Natalie about that at the end of the meet yesterday. But I did enjoy the 50s. It was fun to see people race those 50s. But like I said, we didn't put too much stock into those 50s, and so I think going back to the team standing, and I know I said it didn't matter, but again, I just think I want to briefly explain maybe why we finished where we finished from a team standpoint. We only had 3 people race 50s, and all on the women's side, right? It was Journey in the 50 back, Hannah in the 50 breast, and Mira in the 50 fly. Yes, they absolutely scored points for us there, but, like, every other school swam 50s but us. So this is not to say that their scores are overinflated from their performances. Like, those teams absolutely are in those placings, but the 50s definitely impacted the team race from that perspective.
Yeah.
Right? And I think if we don't acknowledge that, and we just say, like, look, here are the scores, it does maybe make us look, I don't want to say weaker, that's not what I mean, but like
it wasn't as good as it actually was.
Yeah, maybe that's a good way to put it. So, but yeah, again, maybe in the future we'll say, hey, if you want to roll a 50 whatever, just go for it. Like, again, keep in mind all the additional stuff that comes with those races, but who knows? Mentioned this earlier in the recap, but overall, I'm very happy with how we swam, considering the short drop. We went normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday was our optional day to stay within some policy. And then Wednesday we came down about 2,000 from Thursday we came down about 2,000 from Wednesday, and then an additional 1,000 to 1,500 on Friday, which I think really benefits the sprints.
Yep.
And really doesn't fully benefit the mid distance, and it really probably doesn't do much to our distance swimmers, right? And I think that's reflected in the results, right? The 50s and the 1s were very, very quick. The 200s were very quick, but you could tell the end of the races really hurt. Tired, like, they're going to hurt a conference, which is good, but, like, really, really hurt. And then the 5s, while really good, probably, kind of, they're like, oh, this level of fatigue feels almost dual meet-like, potentially, even with the addition of the suit, right? Yeah. The suit helps, it floats your body better, but it doesn't make you any less fatigued, which I think is always important to remind our team of that. And then when you get up to the mile, like,
it definitely,
it definitely benefited them, right? Like, they all swam season best. Yeah. I think part of that is the competition, part of that is the suit, and part of that is the drop taper. Yeah. And so it all works together. But, realistically, for them to have the drops they did, like, I think that was also a lot up here.
I think it was all.
So, yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the suit definitely helps, right? Like, the suit floats you better, even an old suit. It floats you better, it compresses your muscles a little bit, not as much as back when I swam, because we had the super suit eras. But, I am old, but that's okay. But, I was talking with Andrew at PLU, and he was like, I tell my team, the suit brings out what you already have. Yeah. And he's told me that before, that he tells that with the team. And I feel that is really true. Like, the suit brings out what you've already put in. The suit doesn't suddenly make you the swimmer you aren't. Like, you're
Yeah.
not suddenly going to put a suit on and drop a ridiculous amount of time to times you've never gone before. Putting a suit on might put you in the headspace to now suddenly approach PRs or push past the PRs a little bit, but it's not going to make you something you're not. And so I think reminding our team that, especially as we head into conference, will always be important, because conference is the big one, right, where we all freak out and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I already mentioned how we showed up was great. You know, embodied, I feel like, all of our core values. But yeah, that was really exciting. So since I already kind of talked about that, I'll skip over that. And then again, just mentioning the energy on deck was great. Prelims to finals, you know, it is a short and intense meet, and you can get pretty burned out, I think, by the end of each day. And I think our team brought it. You know, every single day, people were standing, cheering, supporting their teammates. Prelims, finals, A final, B final, it really didn't matter. So, yeah, it was great. All right, let's get into some nitty-gritty swim stat details. We're going to start off with new program records. So, congratulations to Tri Zhang. Set the 200 breast men's. Goodness, why am I stumbling over it? Set the program record for the men's 200 breaststroke. He went 2:05:47 at finals on Saturday. That knocks off Kel's 2:05:60. Kel also, and I just said it again, but if that's not how you pronounce your name, I'm really sorry about that. I do look forward to hopefully meeting you one day. But that record of 2:05:60 back from 1997. So one of our longer standing records we finally get to take off the board. So yeah, that was our only school record, but what a big one. Again, one that's almost 20 years old. So 18 years old. Awesome to take that off the books. New men's top 10 times. We have top 10 times in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh?
1997
Yeah.
to 2025.
Oh,
28
years.
28 years. I was like, I'm not that young.
It's because I forget, you know, I'm only 28 in my mind.
Yes. So then I am 12. Got it.
So, moving into men's top 10 times, again, 3, 4, 5 different events, set some top 10 times from 1 to 3 different swimmers. So starting off in the 1,000 free, Jan Beck, 10:03:45 is now the 8th fastest time in the 1,000. He's the 6th fastest performer in history in that event. And that came in the first 1,000 of his 1650, like a lot of those times really did. Yeah. I do wonder if some of the time, like the top times on the top 10, like some of the older ones, if those were set in actual thousands versus split up from the mile. But yeah, that would be something interesting to dig into eventually, but not today. Jan in that 1650 also finished in 16:37:51, which is the 4th fastest performance in program history, making him the 2nd fastest performer behind Ben Fritz. Ben Fritz is our current record holder in that event. So yeah, big swim from Jan. You know, just had a few, you know, his goal was, I think, double O's for all of them, had a few 101s, and swam that race more or less on his own from about the 300 mark on. So I think, you know, for conference, I think he's going to have a huge drop, which is exciting. Moving into the breaststrokes and the 100 breast, I got to mention Kalaba because at the time he swam this race in prelims when he went 59:18, he was the 10th fastest time in program history, and then Tri took him off the board at finals. So Kalaba, that 59:18 is the 11th fastest time in program history now, but did want to mention him because he technically did make it for a few hours. Tri, his 58:0 from finals ranks him 5th all time, and his 57:79 rate is 2nd. That was a prelim swim, just missing the program record by 0.119 or so. And he is now the 2nd fastest performer behind earlier mentioned Kel. Kel had the 100 and 200 records, and so now Kel just has the 100 record. Tri also in the 2 breast, we already talked about it, but the 2:05:47 is first, so fastest in program history. And in prelims of that race, he went 2:05:97. So then that's now the 3rd fastest time in our program history. And finishing up for Tri, 200 IM, he went 1:55:95 to become the 3rd fastest swimmer in program history. He now sits just outside of 2nd behind Cole for the record, and a few tenths behind Ben Hedman. So Tri is now the 3rd fastest performer. And so congratulations to those 3 guys. You know, they did a great job, and I know there's more in the tank for conference. So I'm excited there. Women's top 10 times and the 100 fly, Tessa Chiatti, 59.22, makes her the ninth fastest performer, or ninth fastest performance in history. You know, and I think that is a good spot for her. That was her goal. That's faster than she was last year. And then obviously we saw how last year finished when she went her 57. So yeah, big things coming. Lifetime best times. Wow, we had a lot.
Yeah.
We had a lot. We at one point had counted 35 by 18 swimmers. After putting everything into Swim Cloud, we actually ended up with 41 total lifetime best times, 20 on the men's side. Coming from no particular order, from Ethan, Austin, Nick, Paul, Colin, Lucas Evison, Augie, and Michael. So congratulations to you all on some new lifetime best times. And on the women's team side, 21 total, coming from Emma Schabel, Allie, Ella, Jillian, Cyan, Grace, Kate, Pranka, Ava, Hannah, Mira, and Emma Knopfsinger. So like an amazing job from you all. Obviously, I think we mentioned the season best across the board. Every swim was a season best time at some point, either in prelims or finals. So awesome there. And this one kind of wrap this video with just some additional shout outs. Maybe people who don't jump out necessarily on the results page, but I think from like when we look at it, like deserve the shout out. So we alluded to this earlier, but Colin Duran, I think Colin swam the most competitive yards for sure of our team. I would put him up against anybody else on any other team. Colin did a total of just competitive yards, 3,450 competitive yards. And that was a lot.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot in 2 days.
Yeah.
And especially with 1,650 of that coming from the mile.
Yeah.
But you know, he swam the 400 IM twice, the 200 back twice, the 200 butterfly twice, the mile, and he was on 3 different relays. So Colin, good job, man. Jan, I know we mentioned him earlier, but I think what we need to shout out is the fact that he went sub-minute in the 100 breast with very little breaststroke training. You know,
Very little.
Jan, we recruited Jan as a breaststroker and a distance swimmer, but he and us have leaned a little bit more distance heavy right now. But so for him to get up and still go sub-minute twice in the 100 breast was awesome. I also want to shout out our men's backstroke group. So Augie, Ethan, Michael, and Lucas Evanson just have been training so well together. You know, Ethan's gone PBs. I think Ethan and Lucas have gone as well. Michael's really, really close. Actually, he might have, that might be a PB according to Swim Cloud in his 100.
Yeah.
And so just those 4 guys just are really right there training really well together, and have made great strides from the beginning of the season to where we are now, and I know they'll go smashing through their goals as we get to conference. So, on the women's side, Aaliyah winning the 100 back. Congratulations, Aaliyah. She was our only women's event winner. Tri was the only men's event winner. Sorry, Tri and Jan. Jan won the 1650.
Didn't Tessa win the 100 fly?
Oh, my bad. Tessa won the 100 fly. So we have 4 of them.
Yeah,
so 2 and 2. Sorry, Tessa. Jillian, great swims in the 2 and the 5. Also really stepping into the role of the freestyler on the medley relays, which is big for her. Mira, congratulations on finishing your second and third 200 flies ever. Really hard to pick up the 2 fly when you've never done it. Probably even harder to do it your senior year or junior year. So yeah, great job. Some other shout outs from people again that maybe don't pop up on the results. Kate, Emily, Grace, Ella, and Allie, all doing, earning second swims, showing up on relays. Swimming really, really fast for them. Big PR from Grace in her mile. Emily battling through some injuries to still swim, I think, faster than she did at this meet last year, which is great. Kate, I know she was real tired by the end of the race, but she's being asked to step up onto some B and even A relays where she was not asked that at all last year, and doing a great job. Allie transitioning from triathlon into swimming fast, and then Ella just continuing to get after it in the distance. So that was great. And the final on the women's side, it's just Abby. Great social media content. So anything you saw on social media was all Abby, and as well as our lifetime best tracker. So. And the final shout out I want to give is to the parents. Thank you so much, parents, for being there, for supporting us. If you were watching on the live stream, thank you for watching on the live stream. We felt the love, felt the support. I have said repeatedly, and I will say this probably every year, that we have the best parent group bar none, just with helping us out with picking up food or snacks or just anything we need. Also bringing us caffeine, which we love. Thank you so much. And again, you all are the best group, and we really do appreciate everything you do. So thank you. Any final thoughts on Bruin?
No, I'm excited to see where we go in the spring. It's going to be awesome. I think we're racing so hard and no longer letting like fatigue drag it down, if that makes sense. And that's just, I know something we've worked really hard on these last few years, and so it's really nice to see it actually working.
Yeah, for sure. So, just very quickly, since this video is running a little long, I think we did a great job. I think we're really well positioned heading into the spring. You know, we'll have some real competitive dual meets in the spring with the rest of the Oregon schools, as well as Whitman and Whitworth. But I think those schools will help us get prepared really well for conference, and we can build off of this with excitement and kind of go back and watch some things, see where we can make some adjustments. And now we've got a blueprint of where we move forward for conference. So really quick on our end, we're going to obviously take the rest of this week off because it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates that. And then we'll be back either next week or the week after with kind of a fall wrap-up video. That one will probably be a little bit longer of a video, although at this point this is like probably almost 19 minutes now, but a little bit of a longer video looking at fall kind of in totality. And then we'll be off after that until we get back from winter training in January. So thanks for following along so far this fall. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and then we'll talk soon. Thank y'all.
Bye.